Hey everyone, we're once again on the Upper West Side of Manhattan, and we're currently sitting on the steps of the beautiful Museum of Natural History. We have a great view overlooking Billionaire's Row. You can see the Steinway Tower in the distance. Now, this is kind of going to be a little bit of a part two of our Upper West Side walking tours. This is one of my favorite sub-locations on the Upper West Side, particularly in the 80s, right? High 70s, low 80s, right by the Museum of Natural History. Lots of stuff going on here, lots of great places to eat. And in this walking tour, we're not only going to be pointing out some of the most notable buildings, but we're also going to be going by some of my favorite restaurants on the Upper West Side. So if you are visiting the city this summer and you're interested in coming to the Upper West Side and getting something to eat, maybe jot down a few of these places that we talk about in today's video. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. This is the Museum of Natural History here. It's a beautiful building and the sun is finally just starting to come out. It seems like we have a significant pickup in tourist activity, which is very positive. 2 thumbs up on that. We'll also walk around the main park, where right in front of it you have that planetarium. Just a lot of beautiful architecture on the Upper West Side of Manhattan. Quite the juxtaposition from the glass-encased modern skyscrapers of Midtown Manhattan, that is for sure. As we've mentioned in other videos, the Upper West Side has much more of a community feel. You're going to see a lot of young kids, young families, and more of a relaxed neighborhood type vibe. And more nature, right? Obviously being next to Central Park. You can even see some of the school buses pulling up here. This is the Theodore Roosevelt Park. The landscaping here is really beautiful. Looks like a big field trip day today. Oh wow, I didn't even know this was happening. So it looks like they're doing major construction on the entrance to the subway. So potentially, or perhaps it's actually closed down, this entrance. Let's see, we'll have to investigate a little bit further, but hopefully it opens back up for the summer rush, because this is going to be unbelievably crowded for the summer if this entrance is closed. And from the looks of it, it's going to be closed for a long time. Wow. That's crazy. We'll have to do another video in the summer to see really the backup in the tourists trying to get to the B and the C trains, because they're going to have to use the northernmost side, I should say the northernmost entrance right here, 81st Street Museum of Natural History Station. Across the street you have Central Park, and then obviously right here is the museum overlooking Midtown Manhattan. On this walking tour, I want you to pay close attention to a lot of the architectural details on these buildings. Just so much uniqueness, a lot of red brick facades, a lot of limestone, a lot of brick and mortar. and really beautiful landscaping too. Can't believe the sun is finally coming out. This is overlooking the Theodore Roosevelt Park. I also really love the entrances to these buildings. Sidewalks are very, very clean too. Very meticulously manicured. Really pretty up here. Now, there's another big reason why I personally prefer the Upper West Side to the Upper East Side. And that's because not only do you get to take advantage of Central Park, you get to take advantage of Riverside Park as well, which sits right on the Hudson River. And depending on the time of year, depending on my mood, I oftentimes prefer Riverside Park to Central Park. Maybe one day we'll have to film a walking tour of Riverside Park so you could really understand why, but it's quite nice. It's a lot less crowded, I'd say, and it's nice to overlook the water. It's really, really nice to overlook the water of the Hudson River. All right, everyone. Now we are coming up to Columbus Avenue. So we are headed west. We were just at Central Park West. Now we're coming up to Columbus, and we are going to make a right. And on the corner is a very, very good coffee shop, which I believe is still there, by the way. We'll check in a minute, but it's called About Coffee. I just want to zoom up on this building here. Look at the wraparound terrace that apartment has. I also love the classic water towers too. Those are really quite nice. Ah, it's still here. I remember when this place just opened. This is a good spot here, About Coffee. We also have a really nice flower shop here. Which is always decorated quite nice. This is now 82nd Street. and Columbus. This is a new development building on the corner, but you can't really notice it because the developer did a really good job blending in the facade to keep it in tune with the architectural integrity of the neighborhood. And a lot of this red brick is now back in style for new development. It's a really nice building. Really nice. It makes a great contrast with the blue of the sky. You have Ray's Pizza off to the left. I'm not really a big fan of this spot at all. I'm gonna take you guys by one of my favorite pizza places in all of New York City on this tour. It's called Made in New York Pizza. It's on Amsterdam Avenue. It's fantastic. That's one of the best spots in New York City, in my view. That's another thing I love about the Upper West Side is the outdoor dining. Makes it feel almost kind of European in nature. This is West 83rd Street between Columbus and Amsterdam. And when I was a teenager, I actually used to work right here. I used to work right next to the post office at the Enterprise Rent-A-Car. That bike guy was going like 1,000,000 miles an hour. But I used to clean and vacuum the rental cars. So when people would return the rental car right there on 83rd Street, I would take the keys from them, thank them for their business, and then I would drive them down into this disgusting garage, like 2 stories underground. And I would vacuum out all the filth, and I would wash the car. And I think at the time I was getting paid maybe like $9 an hour, and I thought I was a millionaire. I was like, oh my God, I'm getting paid $9. And then sometimes these people would give me like $20 as a tip because I would try to be as nice as possible to them. Anyway, this thrift shop has been here for a long time too. This is a really unique place. Very cool. Sometimes you find like hidden gems in these places. You know, there's one of my favorite bookstores in Manhattan is on the, I'm blanking on the name, St. Mark's Place. Right off the St. Mark's Place, I should say, in the East Village. And it's called East Village Books. And that bookstore gets a lot of its inventory from estate sales and other things. Like people will come in and, you know, sell them their books and stuff. And if you go to the finance section, you can find a lot of like very, very rare finance books in there. I found one of the original prints, Reminiscences of a Stock Operator, which is worth a lot of money. And I bought it for like $4 in there. There's also a lot of other stuff too. I have a lot of good stuff. Maybe I'll show you at one point or another. Across the street's a very good coffee shop too. I also like this location very much. This is Joe Coffee in between 84th and 85th Street. But on the other side of the street is my all-time favorite breakfast place in New York City. It sits right on the corner of 85th Street and Columbus, and it's called Good Enough to Eat. This place is really amazing. It's one of the benefits to living on the Upper West Side of Manhattan. This place is awesome. Good Enough to Eat. I'll zoom in on it. This place by far has the best breakfast in the city, hands down. Just don't try to come here on a Saturday or a Sunday morning because the line is going to be pretty crazy. I would definitely order the bacon from here because it's not like any bacon you've ever had. It's like very, very thick cut bacon. Okay, this is now 86th Street, and we are going to make a left now on 86th and head over to Amsterdam Avenue. Wow, look at this spot. This looks like it either just opened or it's about to open. Chinese cuisine. I have to make a mental note of this and try it. '86th and Columbus. Another one of my favorite spots on the Upper West Side is an Italian restaurant called Carmine's. Now, Carmine's has since opened multiple locations in the city. I believe their newest location now is right in Times Square, right on the corner of where they have the, what's that new chicken place? I always forget the name of it. Raising Cane's, right on the corner there. The only thing about, how should I say this? The Carmine's is you probably should go with 3 or more people because the dishes are served as family size. So if you go there by yourself, it's probably going to be a little bit of a waste of money. This is the Jewish Center on the Upper West Side. Look at how beautiful that facade is. Also, you see a little bit of that water cooler or that water tower to the left. That's a really nice building. I love these doorman buildings here. There used to be this really good restaurant I would go to all the time. It was called Flor de Mayo. I'm not so sure it's open yet anymore, but we'll check. As we make a left, we're gonna pass one of my favorite go-to restaurants on the Upper West Side. It's called Jacob's Pickles, which is a great spot, and they've since branched out and opened other locations. I believe there is a location inside the new Moynihan train hall. So if you go to Moynihan and you walk to the back, right, so just head towards the Hudson Yards and Manhattan West, and you'll see it in the food court. It's all the way to the back, to the left. Unfortunately, it looks like they're putting up more scaffolding here outside of the Key Food. You see a lot of these buildings as you go up towards Columbia University. You have like the bodegas and the corner stores in the bottom in the retail. And then you have the apartments up top with the fire escapes. This is the Tiki Bar. And here is Jacob's Pickles. Right here between 84th and 85th Street. The indoor dining is quite nice, but they also have really well and thought out outdoor dining as well. Some of the restaurants do not do a good job of the upkeep on the outdoor dining facilities, but I would say Jacob's Pickles really does a good job of it.
More concerned. Oh my God, I need to be outside.
This looks like a new little cafe that opened up, Galleria. See, I don't really spend too much time here anymore. So it's good to see what's opened, what's closed down since. Oh, it does look like it's still there. So adjacent us on the corner of West 83rd Street, you can see the Flor de Mayo. That is a really good Chinese fusion restaurant. Let me see if you can see it from here. It's the 484 Amsterdam Avenue. That's a solid spot. I used to go there all the time for lunch. But my number one go-to on the Upper West was Sen. S-E-N-N, Sen Thai Comfort Food. This is more Mediterranean cuisine. George Keeley is a bar, Irish pub. This Amsterdam cafe has been here forever. I used to go here in the morning, get a bacon, egg, and cheese before I would start work.
I don't know, but I got it.
This is the High Life. I've never really cared for this place, but it is quite popular. Never really thought it was anything that special, though, to be honest. This looks like a new coffee shop here. Open 365 days a year. Looks like it's a barber shop on one side, and then a little coffee shop and a market on the other. It's quite nice. Okay, here is one of the major places on the list that you should write down. This is called Gin Ramen, right on the corner of 82nd Street in Amsterdam. This is an unbelievable ramen place, and I would recommend that you would get the kimchi ramen. It's a little spicy. You could either get it with the pork or the chicken. I usually get it with the pork. So check it out, Gin Ramen, J-I-N Ramen. And if you go there for the first time, I would probably order the kimchi ramen. And now we're gonna cross westbound and we'll check out another great restaurant, which I used to go to this place every day, literally. My good friend was the owner. She sold this restaurant right in the corner of 82nd and Amsterdam right here. This is Sen. And it looks like they just redid the interior here. So Sen Thai comfort food. Now my friend did go on to open another Thai food place, but it's in Brooklyn and actually won a Michelin star. If you want to go there, it's called Tong, T-O-N-G, in Brooklyn, New York. It's a Thai food restaurant that has a Michelin star. It's a great spot. If you want to check it out, please do, and email me before you do, and I'll make sure they hook it up there. To the right is the Gin Mill. It's a very popular bar. I don't drink, but if you do, that's one of the more popular places on Amsterdam. Oh wow, I didn't even know that they had a Momoya here. So across the street, if you like sushi, this is arguably one of the greatest sushi restaurants I've ever been to, Momoya, but I usually go to the one in Soho. I had no idea they had a location right here. So in between 80th and 81st Street and Amsterdam Avenue, they have a Momoya. Okay, this is my favorite pizza place in New York City, right here on the corner of West 80th Street and Amsterdam. This is Made in New York Pizza. This is a phenomenal place. This is way better than Joe's. I can't really understand why anybody would wait in line in Times Square to go to Joe's Pizza, but this spot is far superior. It's fantastic. Very good. Now coming up is a great hotel on the corner of 79th Street. It's called the Lucerne. And it has probably one of the most beautiful facades on the Upper West Side. You'll see exactly what I mean when we walk past it. We'll actually have to go to the other side of the street for you to see the building in all its glory. It's a really, really nice place. It's also very close to the subway. It's about a block away from the 1 train, 79th Street 1 train station, and another block away from the Museum of Natural History. Here's the main entrance to the Lucerne here. It's a really stunning building architecturally. I wanted to just cross the street so you could see the facade, and you'll really understand what I'm talking about in a minute as we turn around and look at the hotel. Once again, this is 79th Street and Amsterdam. Look at how beautiful that is. I wish the weather was a little bit better, but doesn't that building really, really pop? Really stands out from everything else. This is one of my favorite buildings on the Upper West Side, the Lucerne. 201 West 79th Street. Wow, this Bagel & Co. looks like it closed down, hopefully just temporarily. Oh, they're on holiday, maybe for Passover. Okay, that makes sense. That got me worried there for a minute because that was one of the best bagel shops in New York City. But it makes sense, right? It's a kosher place, it's a Jewish-owned place. So they probably closed down for Passover. So we dodged a bullet there. Did not close down, it's just temporarily closed. I would highly suggest going to get a bagel there. It's a good spot. And there's another really good coffee shop just off to the left here. It's called Irving Farm Coffee Roasters. They have very good coffee there at Irving Farm. Really nice. I think this boba place is relatively new. I've never been in here before, but I think it's brand new. Mochi Dulce. But this used to be my spot pretty much every day when I lived on Central Park South. I would oftentimes walk all the way up here, read the paper in the morning, and get a cold brew or an espresso right here at Irving Farm. It's in a really pretty building too. Very classic to Upper West Side, this architecture. And as I've said before, very close to the subway, which is right across the street from us, right here. 79th Street, the 1 train. Architecturally speaking, the First Baptist Church is a really nice building as well. You can see it right across the street. Very unique. This is a very Upper West Side shot right here. So now we're headed towards Riverside Park. This is now Broadway. Since we have the light, we will cross here. We'll go up one and then over. And one more avenue over, this is going to be West End Avenue. There's a lot of pretty buildings over here too, pretty much all residential. But for me, just a little bit too far away from the trains on West End, particularly the further up you go. West End Avenue also runs north to south. Okay, we have the light, we'll cross, and just in the distance you're going to start to see the Hudson River. See some people going for a walk in Riverside here.
Mets are have become very family friendly.
Some more beautiful buildings here. And now we are on Riverside Drive. If we cross the street, we're officially in Riverside Park. And it's really windy. The wind is picking up quite a bit. The closer you get to the water, you're always going to have the wind pick up like that, but the wind is even moving the camera around. And here we are. See, imagine if you live on the Upper West Side, you could choose to go for a run or get a workout in Central Park or Riverside Park. It's like, take your pick. There's beautiful buildings all around. It's almost like you forget you're even in New York City. This is now the corner of 81st Street and Riverside. See, it's so enjoyable now, but in the winter, it is very cold over here and it's very windy. So if you're visiting New York City in the summer, you gotta take advantage of Riverside while the weather's nice. It is a must do. See more beautiful homes over to the right. And here we are at 83rd Street. What I want to do is quickly make a right and enter Riverside Park. Look at these dogs over here. Let's go up this path real quick. Never really thought you'd be rock climbing in New York City. Okay. Beautiful view overlooking the Hudson River. If you guys enjoyed that walking tour of the Upper West Side of Manhattan, from the Museum of Natural History, ending right here in Riverside Park, feel free to subscribe for more New York City walking tours, and we will see you all in the next one. Thanks so much for watching.